Candace Owens and Briahna Joy Gray stand as two formidable voices in modern discourse, each wielding sharp intellect, unyielding conviction, and a willingness to challenge the systems they believe are flawed. Though they come from vastly different political and ideological perspectives, Owens being a staunch conservative and Gray a progressive powerhouse, they both exemplify the Spartan mindset. Their actions and principles transcend their differences when confronted with a pressing humanitarian crisis, like the civilian losses in the Israel-Palestine conflict. Owens and Gray, both prominent figures in their respective spheres, share a common thread. They refuse to compromise their ethics, no matter the cost. Each has faced backlash, including being fired from lucrative posts, Owens from the Daily Wire and Gray from the Hills Rising. These dismissals came as a result of their uncompromising stance on the devastating impact of the war on innocent civilians. In doing so, they demonstrated an essential characteristic of the Spartan mindset: unwavering commitment to their principles, even in the face of significant personal and professional loss. Candace Owens has long been a polarizing figure in American conservative circles. Known for her fierce critiques of liberal ideology and her vocal advocacy for individual responsibility, Owens has built a career on challenging mainstream narratives. Her outspoken nature has earned her a loyal following, but also made her a target of relentless criticism. Owens's condemnation of the civilian casualties in the Israel-Palestine war was no exception. For many in her audience, the expectation was unwavering support for Israel, a common stance among American conservatives. Yet, Owens broke ranks, speaking out against what she viewed as the disproportionate suffering inflicted on Palestinian civilians during the conflict. Her position was not an abandonment of her values, but a reflection of them. Owens's Spartan mindset compelled her to prioritize the humanity of innocent people over political alliances. She framed her arguments around universal principles of justice and accountability, emphasizing that no nation or group should be above reproach when it comes to the loss of civilian life. The backlash was swift and severe. Critics accused her of betraying her conservative base, and tensions reportedly mounted within the Daily Wire, where her views clashed with those of other high-profile personalities. Eventually, her refusal to recant her position led to her dismissal, a decision that only strengthened her resolve. Owens remained undeterred, using her platform to continue advocating for an honest and compassionate discourse around the conflict. On the opposite end of the political spectrum, Briahna Joy Gray has emerged as a leading voice in progressive media. A former national press secretary for Bernie Sanders' 2020 presidential campaign, Gray is known for her incisive critiques of corporate power, systemic inequality, and militarism. Her work on the Hills Rising showcased her ability to challenge conventional wisdom and push for policies rooted in justice and equity. Gray's response to the civilian losses in the Israel-Palestine war was equally uncompromising. She condemned the widespread destruction in Gaza, highlighting the humanitarian crisis and calling for an immediate ceasefire. Gray's stance aligned with her broader advocacy for peace and human rights, but it also put her at odds with powerful interests in media and politics. Within the context of the Hills Rising, Gray's principled stance reportedly caused friction with her employers, who were wary of the controversy her views might generate. As Gray continued to amplify the voices of Palestinian civilians and question the policies driving the conflict, her position became untenable. Her eventual firing was a testament to her refusal to compromise her ethics, even in the face of professional consequences. Like Owens, Gray embodies the Spartan mindset in her willingness to endure personal loss for the sake of her principles. Her ability to speak truth to power, regardless of the political or financial costs, is a hallmark of her character. What makes the stories of Candace Owens and Briahna Joy Gray particularly compelling is the convergence of their voices on this humanitarian issue. Despite their ideological differences, both women recognize the moral imperative to speak out against the suffering of innocent civilians. This rare alignment underscores the power of shared humanity and the importance of transcending partisan divides in the pursuit of justice. Their advocacy highlights a critical lesson. The Spartan mindset is not bound by political affiliations or ideological labels. It is defined by the courage to stand up for what is right, even when doing so comes at great personal expense. Owens and Gray demonstrated that principles, not politics, should guide our actions in the face of injustice. The decisions of Owens and Gray to remain steadfast in their beliefs came with steep costs. Losing their positions at the Daily Wire and Rising represented more than just financial setbacks. It was a public rebuke of their willingness to challenge the status quo. Yet, for both women, the price of silence would have been far greater. Their stories serve as a powerful reminder that true leadership requires sacrifice. In a media landscape often driven by sensationalism and profit, Owens and Gray chose the harder path of truth and accountability. Their actions resonate with the Spartan ideal of putting the collective good above personal gain, even when faced with adversity. The courage displayed by Candace Owens and Briahna Joy Gray offers valuable lessons for anyone seeking to adopt the Spartan mindset. Their experiences illustrate the importance of remaining true to one's values, even in the face of intense opposition, speaking out against injustice, regardless of the personal or professional consequences, recognizing shared humanity and the need for unity on issues that affect us all, and persisting in the fight for justice, even when the odds seem insurmountable. Both women have shown that the Spartan mindset is not confined to any one ideology or political leaning. Instead, it is a universal call to act with integrity, courage, and resilience in the face of adversity. The Spartan mindset provides all this and more in an original, comprehensive, and actionable guide. Available now for just $19.99. Buy your copy from the links in the description box below or on the channel's homepage, because your future starts with the right mindset. The Spartan Mindset.